life. It's out there, beyond the exit door, waiting for you. Claribel Alegría is this amazing poet from Guatemala by way of Nicaragua. And she says to students, always carry your seed book with you. I love that phrase, seed book, Not a journal, not a phone. Phone has a battery. Battery can die. A little notebook with a pencil or pen attached in your back pocket, that's your seed book. Because it'll never fail you, My wife hates my seed book. She hates it. Because I will pull that thing out anywhere, If we're at Walmart at like 2 in the morning on a Wednesday and there's an old Mexican couple in the cereal aisle cursing each other in Spanish over which cereal they should get, I'm going to stop. I'm going to listen. I'm going to write down what they're saying. Because that's a poem waiting for me to write it. So I told them, be ready. Poems will find you. You never know where they're going to find you. They're out there just waiting for you. And I told them, I said, even in places like the mall, who knew that I'd find a poem at the mall? But I did, You guys have malls here in Colorado? In Texas, like a mall, capital planet Earth. We have a mall in Houston, that has a mall inside of it, like the inception of malls, So I was at a mall, I won't say where I was, I don't want to offend anybody. I was in Mesquite, Texas. That's what And I was with my family. This was years ago when my daughter she's small. And I was walking with my family down the corridor of the hallway of the mall. And I noticed her shoe was untied, so I knelt down on my knee. And I was tying her shoe, and I was speaking to her in Spanish for just a moment, which I sometimes do. And a man with his family was walking by down the corridor, and he made a comment loud enough for me and for my daughter to hear about how disgusted he was that I was speaking Spanish in his country. Not the possessive plural R, but his. I'm from the Valley of the Lower East Side. Back in the day, it would have been on, But I cannot beat this man up and go to jail. Ain't nobody got time for that. I got kids to feed, But I will go home and get in front of a computer and write a poem about your stank ass. It will last forever. Post. Thank you, Facebook. So I got home to my computer. And I slammed my fingers down on the keyboard to all cap the title in bold. And my working title was, How Much I Hate the Man in the Mall. My working title. I have this glassed-in office. My wife's a designer. She makes homes beautiful, and she designed this glass office that's attached to the side of our home. And so it's like a wall of glass, a wall of glass, a wall of glass. You can't really hang stuff on it. I just don't feel right hanging. It's so beautiful, and there's trees, and there's a creek behind our house. I'm trying to get the whole neighborhood to call it Joaquin's Creek, but it's not catching on. I'm trying really hard, It's like, oh, I noticed you saw you hanging out by Joaquin's Creek the other day, John. He's like, what's that? Joaquin's. It's not catching on. Hopefully something. Dawson can have one. I want one, damn it. And then so the only place to hang anything on the wall is the brick facade that it's attached to. There's the brick of the house, and there's a door that goes through. So hanging things on that brick is hard. I found that out. So there's only one picture hanging on the brick, and it's it's like beside my desk, looking down on where I write, and it's a picture of my grandfather in the sun, his eyes squinting. He's holding like I think a rake or a hoe or something. And it looks down at my desk. My grandfather was a very devout man. Oh, he was a devout Catholic. I went to church on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Saturday, and Sunday with my grandfather. I started serving the church. I was the youngest altar boy in La Villa de Guadalupe history. There was talk about me becoming a priest. I like the ladies. I love God. I like the ladies. One now. He's like one now. So he was a very devout man, but he went beyond devout. My grandfather was a pacifist. For those of you who don't know what pacifist is, someone's opposed to violence. However, my grandfather went beyond pacifism. Like, what's after that? He was opposed to the idea of hate. My grandfather didn't think that word should exist. I've never met anyone in my life that felt that way. His wife, I believe that. She's like, oh, I hate everybody. So, you read about something in the newspaper that someone's committed this atrocity, this murder or something, and the first thing you think is, oh my God, I hate this person. Like, how can this person do this? You think bad thoughts about that person. My grandfather would say things like, I wish I could have taught this person. So I had titled this poem, How Much I Hate the Man at the Mall. And my grandfather was opposed to the word hate. Backspace, 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 delete. So I decided to write a poem for that man at the mall, to that man at the mall. And hopefully show him that we're connected to one another. Maybe someday we can come to respect one another, care for one another. Maybe even God willing, when they come to love one another. So this poem is dedicated to the man that I insulted at the mall. Alright? This is for him. And for you. This is called Speaking in Tongues. It's another old one. I'm going to try it. So here goes. Siéntate y pórtate bien, mi mente se va a quitar mala cinta. Sit down and behave, my little one, while daddy ties your shoe. You see, this is what's meant for my daughter and not for you. So as you roll your eyes and speak in a voice loud enough for her to hear, if they can't speak our language, they don't belong here. Know this. Your contempt for the language my grandfather prayed in is the least of my worries. It's the least of my fears. What you should have contempt for is how simple you are. Simple. Which comes from the Spanish simple, derived from the Latin simpus, meaning stupid. Because you see, people living in adobe houses should not throw stones, because adobe is a word my people have been using a long time for home. Even most American words like the Alamo, barbecue, burrito, they all come from my people. Maybe the fool could realize that just because you take something doesn't mean you plagiarize. Oh, by the way, plagiado, that's the Spanish word from which plagiarize derives. You see, we give them willingly. So when you attack my language, you attack yours. And that makes you a cannibal. From the Spanish canila, derived from the Latin cannibalis, and maybe you could grasp this. If you ever had a different tongue so enveloped in your own, you can tell where hers ends and yours begins. You see, this is the way tongues were meant to be. This is the way we were meant to be, unido, which is Spanish for united. Which comes from the Latin root that means inseparable. Yet you still have the nerve to demand that I speak with your tongue? Don't you see? I already do. Your tongue is my grandfather, un burrito con huevos y chorizo. Your tongue is he, and she, and we. Your tongue is everyone. Your tongue is a blending of all accents, all colors, all things. And if you listen closely to the hip-hop lyrics being sung by your son, you'll realize that your tongue is new variations on old themes, like gospel, becoming blues, becoming rock, becoming rap. Your tongue is as black as Eminem and Elvis Presley's lyrics. Look, I saw a black woman carry a white child away from a storm named Katrina with my very own eyes. You can feel the spirits of pain with their lives. Lincoln and Douglas, Kennedy and King, they had everything in common. They all shared the same dream, but after all this, you still push me away. You still think I'm different from you. Just because I say zapato sometimes instead of shoe, another man he thinks pendejo is the word in Spanish for you. The poet knows that this is not true. As much as we hate to admit it, you are me, and I am you. So I guess hermanos is the word for us in Spanish. And like all brothers, we sometimes don't get along. Sometimes we get what's right confused what's wrong. We shouldn't be so simple that we choose not to see that you and I, that we are impenetrable. Which comes from the Spanish impenetrable, derived from the Latin penetrable, so it means two standing as one. Look, I have a brown daughter. You have a white son. Don't let language be a barrier between them. Let them dance a salsa or merengue together to the music of Justin Bieber. Let them eat arroz con pollo with a side of mac and cheese, please. Let them be a blend of all accents, all colors, all things. Let them be new variations on old things. Let them be better than you and me. Maybe it's time we embrace our differences like they were our children and just let them be. Thank you.